Your help. I need your help. Help me understand what kind of nose I have. I've briefly mentioned this before in another video, but let's just talk about this one thing in this one video. And that is, I want you to help me understand ethnically what kind of nose that I have. All right, now I know that I've been wearing glasses here, so there's some little indentions here. But as far as us just looking at the shape of my nose, what kind of nose do I have? And by the way, you can tell too that obviously my nose is crooked. I had no kind of major injury that I'm aware of. I played basketball in 6th grade and 5th grade. Maybe a basketball hit me and knocked it out of joint. It's definitely asymmetrical, and this side definitely looks different than the other side. So, last moment to look at my nose before I start walking and talking about it. There's my nose. All right, what do you think? If you didn't get enough of a look, you can rewind and pause it, I guess. So, what do you think? What do you think? What kind of nose do I have? And it's funny because this is not something that I would have thought of on my own. I wouldn't have thought that like a nose was so specific to an ethnic background. It's just not something that crossed my mind, but something I love about being a YouTuber is that I read the comments. Faithfully, I read the comments to whatever people say, because to me, that's what's exciting about the videos I do. I'm basically just throwing out ideas and telling about my life, but then it's illustrated through the comments. People who are passionate about the same things that I like to talk about. So people have been telling me that, and it's not just the nose. People who don't know exactly what I am yet, they'll project onto me what they think that I am. And it's funny because without people already knowing, people will say that they see Spanish in me, that they see Dutch and or German in me. They see, and then they'll say, some will say actually Sephardic Jewish, and then many have said Middle Eastern. So without people knowing, they'll just watch one video and they'll comment. They'll just say that. And the thing is, anyone who said any of those things are right, because I am about a third German/Dutch. I am about a third Spanish. If you look at my test, my mom's test indicates that Spanish is actually in part Sephardic Jewish. So there's that. There is the Middle Eastern that shows up on both my test and my mom's. Of course, I am part Central American because my mom's also half Mexican. So we've got all those things. And I think maybe what officially started the conversation was, as you know, my mom also thought she was half Italian her whole life. She's barely Italian at all. I think like maybe 4% Italian. And instead it's the Middle Eastern and the Jewish that really resonates from the MyHeritage test we took. Now, one theory is that MyHeritage, it goes back further in the family tree, more so than maybe 23andMe does. And it's showing those ancient roots of what the Italian side actually was. You know, I guess that's still up for debate. But what nose do I have? Because see, ultimately this whole question in my head about what kind of nose I have began when someone says, "But you don't have the Italian nose," and you know, they were explaining to me that an Italian nose has more of, they said like a hook shape or something. And it's true, my nose isn't like that at all. In my own opinion, what my nose is it's a very pointed triangle nose. And again, obviously I know that it's crooked, but we'll assume that some kind of minor injury in basketball back in 1992 caused that. I don't know. But as far as the actual profile, the actual shape of my nose, where does it fall? Because what I feel is that people are saying that it's more Middle Eastern than anything. I've explicitly been told that I don't have a Jewish nose. I've been told that more than once. And I've also been explicitly told that I don't have an Italian nose, which I can understand that as well. I don't have the right features for a Jewish or a Italian nose, because if it were Jewish, I understand it would be a thinner nose. My nose is not thin. It's kind of like wide right in here. But I've heard that what you're looking at is more of a Middle Eastern nose of sorts. I'm not sure what a German nose would be. Again, I fully acknowledge that I've got a crooked nose. I've had it most of my life. But even as a kid, I mean, I had the same basic shape. So I've talked about it. I've showed it to you. It seems so far at the filming of this video, people were saying that my nose was more Middle Eastern than anything. But I'm open to whatever people are going to tell me. But I am pretty convinced I don't have a Jewish nose, and I'm pretty convinced I don't have an Italian nose. So that would leave Dutch/German. That would leave Middle Eastern. And of course, again, I'm also a decent amount Central American. The actual test on MyHeritage showed up 20, I believe it said 21, 22%. So, I mean, that's more than a small amount. So, there you go. You tell me, teach me, what kind of nose do I have? What what ethnicity do you see in my nose when you see my nose? And maybe you even see something that I haven't even mentioned. Maybe you would say Albanian, because I think there's a little bit of Albanian, that region of the world too, that shows up. But whatever you think, you tell me, help me sort this out, because I guess it's funny because in America it's so politically incorrect to maybe talk about someone's nose, especially linking it back to a certain ethnicity. I feel that's politically incorrect, but I'm the one saying, but no, please tell me. I see validation in that. If I can understand more about my ethnicity by people on the internet that I don't know analyzing my nose, I celebrate that. I celebrate that. I'm happy with my nose. If anything, if I have any kind of nose pride, here it is. I'm happy that my nose is as big as it is. For me, like just being honest with you, for me as a male, it's important to have a decent sized nose. I would not want a small nose. So I'd rather it be slightly larger. That's cool that it's crooked, whatever. But having a decent sized nose is part of my masculine identity. And what else part of my identity ethnically? So tell me everything you know. You know more than I do. I know very little. I'm just a host. You're the audience. You're the one that makes this channel go somewhere. So thank you so much for being interested in this stuff as I am. I'm Nick Shell with Family Friendly Daddy Blog.